So Aura is a community. I'm sure you know this before joining this call, but exclusively for client-side insight professionals. So we don't have any agencies who are members of Aura. It's a space exclusively for people on client side to essentially connect with each other and share real examples of work that we're doing, share advice on how to approach different research questions or kind of insight challenges that you might have in your business, and also bring kind of fresh perspectives based on different methodologies or different ways of tackling things that other teams might be using. We've actually been around for 60 years, which is quite incredible, and still going strong. And I think, that just sort of shows how useful communities are in our lives, and especially when you're doing your day job, it's really helpful to kind of connect to people that are doing a similar thing to you. We have over 200 member organisations, and they're from a really wide range of sectors. So on the next slide, I'll show you some examples of the member organisations. And of those 200 organisations, we have it's actually over 1,000 people now. So lots and lots of members who are part of Aura. And we have a real range of the types of organisations who are members. So we have lots of teams of one, me being an example of that, where, they sort of use Aura as an extended team to tap into advice, knowledge, perspectives. But then we also have lots of member organisations who have really big international teams. So there's a real spectrum of kind of expertise and business challenges that are part of the community. So here are some examples of the brands and organisations who are part of Aura. So you can see the kind of vast range of industries, everything from financial services to retail to food and drink, education. And sometimes we find that, those cross-industry and cross-category perspectives can be sometimes the most refreshing, because it gets you thinking outside of your maybe norms or your box. So yeah, it's something that we try to make sure we continue to bring in lots of different perspectives and people. So a little bit about the Aura team. Aura is run primarily by volunteers. So the leadership team, which you see on the top there. Sorry, Daniel, I think you. Oh, thank you. Had a tiny bit of feedback from your sound. We're run by volunteers, so everybody who helps run Aura, apart from our three amazing contractors, so Julia being one of those who we use to kind of produce our marketing materials. We've got Tom who organises the events and Richard who runs kind of membership and finances and looks after all the accounting. Apart from our three contractors, we're run exclusively by volunteers, which means that, first of all, we can keep the cost of the membership relatively low, a really good value. But it also means that the people running Aura are really invested in, we're not for profit, so we're not about making money. It's really about giving people in insight roles, client side insight roles, that network, that support, that community. And we all use Aura in our day job as well as helping to run the business. So it's a very friendly, it's a very inclusive, it's a very supportive community. So, on to what membership includes then. And before I hand over to Becky, who's going to kick us off with the kind of details behind this is a one-pager which essentially brings to life all of the things that you have access to by being a member of Aura. So, Aura membership runs on an organisational level. So if you want to be a member, then your organisation pays for that. But that does allow you up to 4 people to be included in the membership. There is an opportunity to add members on if you have more than 4 people in your team. And it's £675 from July, I believe. If you join before that, it's 650. So we're slightly increasing prices in line with inflation. So that's an incentive to join a little bit sooner if you're not already a member. Um, but essentially, what's included in that membership is we run at least 12 online events a year. Often we run many more than that, but we commit to running at least 12 events a year, and Becky will tell you a little bit more about what those include. We also commit to running at least 4 in-person workshops or events. We have an Aura website, which is where you will find our member forum. And this is essentially an online forum where our members can ask questions of each other. So, for example, have you got any agency recommendations for this particular type of brief? How have you approached this question? Um, Lots and lots of different topics, and Bogdan will show you a preview of that and the types of things that you can ask on there. And also, it's a place where, if you have experience in a certain area, you can get involved in the conversation and help others kind of tackle their client-side insight questions. On the website, you'll also find our Knowledge Hub, and this is essentially our online library of all of the events and webinars that we've run previously. So if you've missed any and you want to go back and watch them, you can find the slides and the recordings there. Another one of the memberships of Aura, which we do caveat as TBC, although it's never not been included, but you do also get free tickets to the Quirks event. So I know some of you were there this year. Um, that is per member. So the tickets are worth 199 pounds per person. So if you have a team of 4, then the membership almost pays for itself by attending that Quirk event. And Quirk's event is a great place to immerse yourselves, in the latest and greatest of what's happening in Insight and meet different agencies. And then the final benefit is that we also run as an Aura community an awards ceremony once a year in the summer, and it's a chance to celebrate people in our community, both client side and agency side, that have done great work in that past year. Julia will tell you a little bit more about this, but it's a really amazing event with great food, great wine, and a chance to celebrate our industry. And as Aura members, you get a complimentary ticket to that. So, without further ado, I will stop talking and I'll hand over to Becky to tell you a little bit more about our events.
Thanks, Maddie. So this is just an example of the type of events that we've run this year. As you can see, there's a complete range of topics. So things like effective insight communication, how to do that, how to build for commercial success, global research excellence, building AI and innovation, just a few of the ones that have been covered this year. There are 8 online events that have already happened. And as Maddie said, we do at least 12. So that's not, I mean, there will be a lot more to come this year, I'm assuming. So we've done 8 already. Different sectors, different industries. They're really thought provoking. It doesn't really matter what industry you work in. It's about sharing learnings across the industry. And I personally find them really inspiring and quite thought provoking. I work in insurance, so it's quite a different sector that you're listening to, and I really enjoy that. I think the key to these online events is that you basically, if you are an agency, they can't come and talk to us. This is not about their marketing. It's not a sales pitch. This is a member-generated event. So they may partner with agencies, but it's basically led by our members. And also, I believe that the topics are also relevant. It's led by members. Things that are discussed are kind of, anyone can basically put forward ideas for events. And we also run 4 in-person events. There's been 3 this year already. I have to say I haven't been to any of them because I haven't been able to, but they are so well received. And things like making pizzas, going to the cinema. I mean, they've had great member feedback. They basically tend to be a half-day or full-day mixture of presentations, panel discussions, workshops. But as you could see in the pizza one, they were also making pizzas. So they're slightly different each time. But a great way to learn, mix with other people in the industry as well. And then we also have our events on our website. So you can browse upcoming events, you can register for them, you can see, you can read the full description, you can see what's coming up. Is this yeah, is this just a video playing? Sorry, should I be talking to the video? So you can see here the events that are coming up on the website. And what we have got coming up is there are three things actually. So in the awards that we do for client sides, or that the people put themselves forward, we have Innovation of the Year final coming up next month, and Insight Impact. And basically, anyone has an opportunity. I mean, the places are limited, but there is an opportunity for members to go to hear the cases and to take part in voting for the winners. And as was already mentioned, the Aura event, so the Aura Awards on the 9th of July at the Oval. I'm not going to say any more because I know Julia's bringing it up again, but I can tell you that it is a really good event, and it's really good to learn, but also to meet people. It really is the event of the year. And I
Right.
think at this point, I'm handing over, yeah?
Yes, that's me. So yeah, another key part of Aura is the member forum, and it is really one of my favorite bits about Aura. So in this space, you can ask questions, get advice, chat to other people who have gone through similar challenges like you may be going right now, to get an outside perspective. There's a quite a rich historic forum as well. So there's been quite a few topics in there that people already have been discussing. So you can always revive an old topic or get in touch with people who have commented or who have asked certain questions on the topics to see how they handle, to see what you can learn. And also, obviously, feel free to create a post of your own. To me, it feels like this is like the professional alternative to like your neighborhood's Facebook group, kind of, because you can basically ask your peers or your inside neighbors on what challenges they have, how they've gone through them, and get advice from them to make sure we can do our jobs better. And in the past also, we've seen members, they've organized ad hoc coffee chats on different topics. So everyone met for like an hour or half an hour every so often to discuss things like CX or brand and how they're progressing with things. So that's a possibility as well. And then next we have the Knowledge Hub. So this is basically like a follow-up from all the events and webinars that happen throughout the year, and make sure there's no FOMO, no fear of missing out here, because all the recordings and all the slides are available from past presentations. So if you see something that you're really interested in and you can't really make the event, the slides will always be there, and the recordings of the presentations. And similarly, when you're looking to get more information about certain things like brand trackers or how people solve different challenges, you can always refer back to the Knowledge Hub to see what other agencies have shared with clients, because there's loads of things in here that are basically presented by an agency and a client-side organization on how they work together to generate more impact. So it's good idea to also sound some agencies if you're looking for partners on certain projects. And now I can pass on to Julia again to speak of the more exciting things like the ceremony, the events.
Thanks, Bogdan. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about the Aura Awards in case you don't know what we're talking about here. So the Aura Awards is a celebration of excellence in our industry. We have 16 awards across 4 categories, and they celebrate great work, inspiring people and speakers, and the best agencies that you've worked with. And they're really special and different to other awards in our industry, because they are essentially like Aura, they are run by us, for us. And there are a number of different ways that as Aura members you can get involved in the awards. So the first most obvious is that you are invited to nominate your work, your brilliant work, your people, your colleagues, and your favourite agency partners that you've worked with. for those awards, and the nomination window is just closed for this year, but you'd have an opportunity to nominate for next year. Once we've got all of those nominations in, you are also then invited to vote on the agency awards. So the agencies that were then put up for 3 of our awards, trusted partner and storytelling, and there's one other, you are then invited as members to vote on those for your favourite agencies. Coming to our events throughout the year is also a way of getting involved in the awards, because we ask you to rate each speaker, and then that contributes to our speaker awards. As Becky mentioned a minute ago, and she showed, we've got a couple of finals events coming up next month. One is for the Innovation of the Year Award, and one is for the Insight Impact Award. And if you come along to those events, one is online and one is in person. Again, we ask you to listen to the shortlisted entries and vote for your favourite. So that's another way that you are involved in choosing the winner. And of course, you can come along to the awards. The awards themselves, they're in July. Now, I haven't been to the MRS Awards or any other awards, but what I am told is that the Auras Awards is quite a different vibe. It helps that it's in the summer, and lots of other events tend to be in the winter. It's just as glamorous, but we have a bit of a summer party vibe, a slightly more relaxed dress code. We're at the Kia Oval, so when you get there, we have drinks out on the terrace overlooking the cricket ground. It's really lovely. And then we come into the big room. There's 300 of us. So it's a big event, but it's smaller than the MRS Awards and other ones you might have gone to. So then there's a party atmosphere in the room. And the one thing to mention is that we pride ourselves on getting through the awards themselves really quite quickly. So we get through all of the finalists and the winners, of course, in under an hour. So you're not sat there for hours listening to people accepting their awards. We try and get through it really quickly, and then the rest of the evening is just a really enjoyable time. We have a lovely 3-course meal, and we have magicians going around who are unbelievable. Lots of things going on. So it's just a really lovely evening in July. So you can come along to that as members.
Thank you, Julia. Amazing. Okay. And before we close, there's just one more thing we wanted to mention, which is something that we've been running for a while and something that we hope that you never need. But in line with our kind of, I guess, objective of being supportive to the client-side insight community, we do offer something called a Friends of Aura access, which is if for any reason you find yourself in between roles because your role's been made redundant, we will offer you temporary, completely free access to the Aura community. We know that, there's lots happening in the industry and this is kind of more needed than ever right now. So whilst people are in between roles, we're here to support and to help people stay connected with their peers and keep in touch with the kind of latest and greatest when it comes to research and insight. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a space on our website and you can get in contact with us to learn more. There are obviously caveats for this. We don't we sadly can't, extend this to people in agency roles, so it really is just for client-side individuals. And before we round off with any Q&A, I've got a video which I really hope is going to play and the sound works. So if you could give me a thumbs up if it's working, which is to hear from some more of our members about what they love about the Aura community. Let's see if this works. Can you hear it?
Can see it but can't hear anything.
Sometimes when you're sharing your screen, you have to tick like enable audio sharing. I don't know if it's to do with
Let's
that.
have a look at share settings. Advanced. Well, if it doesn't work, I will send it you afterwards because it's a lovely video. So I think we might just have to send that to you after. Oh, audio, here we go. Let's see if this works.
I'm Dom. I'm an insights manager at Gustav.
My name's Caitlin.
Yep, can hear that.
Great, thank you.
I'm Dom. I'm an insights manager at Gustav.
My name's Caitlin. I'm a research manager at Principality Building Society.
My name's Lawrence and I've worked for Coca-Cola HTC.
I'm Virginia and I'm a senior insights manager at the UK Health Security Agency.
I'm a senior research manager at HomeServe.
I'm an insights and research exec at Owen UK.
My name's Vivian. I'm the research and insights manager at Caravan and Motorhome Club.
Your stakeholders often don't really understand what it is that they need. You should really always start all projects with the question, what do you need to be able to actually do with the insight?
Make the time to build strong and collaborative relationships with your internal stakeholders, because you can do brilliant research, but if you're not bringing people with you on the journey, it's really hard to create real impact.
Influence really comes from storytelling, timing and relationships.
Definitely stay curious, stay happy and willing to learn, and absolutely join Aura.
Something I wish I'd known sooner was how valuable Aura is. If I could give advice to anyone new, I would say make Aura part of your weekly routine.
If anything, I wish I'd found out about Aura sooner. It wasn't until 3 or 4 years ago that I started going to the events and getting involved.
As a one-person team, I've often thought that Aura is very much like having a fantastic extended team. I've been able to bounce ideas off people, get inspiration, and hopefully give a little bit back.
I get to see the best work that everybody's doing across industries that I would never have thought of. I have never met such a wide range of insights professionals, organizations, methodologies.
It's a space where you're not just learning from others, but growing alongside them.
You can bond about people who do the same work as you.
It's a safe space where we can ask each other questions without sales pitch.
It's been a great way to connect with people from across the industry that I'd never usually cross paths with.
I think by nature, research and insights folk tend to be supportive and sharing, and Aura really does give us a fantastic platform, both in real life and digitally, to do just that. So happy birthday, Aura. Well done on the first 60. 5 members, 4 members, and here's to the next 60.
Thank you, Aura, and happy birthday.